all made us hold our breath in London 2012. It was a shocked reaction to a brilliant win that inspired Olympic medalist Chad le Clos to call his book Unbelievable. It's a book written with Myan Subrayan to motivate young sportsmen and to share the journey of what it takes to win an Olympic gold. It leaves the reader understanding that beating the greatest Olympian Michael Phelps did not take a lucky touch, but some meticulous planning. Now in studio we have Chad and his dad Bert, who just couldn't stop uttering the words unbelievable when Chad actually secured that gold in London. So Bert, I'm going to start with you because of course that's what inspired the name of this book, Unbelievable, when you just couldn't stop saying, unbelievable, my beautiful boy, unbelievable.
What an art, what an art. Thanks for having us. You know, look, it is unbelievable. It was unbelievable, you know. He made it believable. But it was an out of unbelievable stature, you know. In my life, it'll never happen, and I wish it happens in many fathers' lives. It would happen to me. You know, it's not to remember. And
it's quite a thing that you would name a book which is about your life and your journey of something that your dad said. It just shows what an integral part your family is of your life.
No, 100%. You know, I think this book is not only about me; it's about a team effort. And I try to portray that a lot, especially with my family, because, of course, you know, me and my dad are very close, and you know, he's taught me many lessons, and many other people lessons. So it's a journey. You know, when I touched the wall at the Olympic Games, I didn't say that I won. If you look carefully, I said that we won, meaning we as South Africa, and you know, my family, and my coach, and everybody around us. So yeah.
You've been there every step of the way, but it all started when Chad actually took up football.
Yes, yes, yes.
You said to your wife that he's going to be a professional. I'm going to make him a professional. Is that right?
Well, I was going to make him a star, a champion, you know. I said I'll make him a champion, you know. And, well, I used to play football with Gordon Eggerson, our national coach, in the same team as a youngster. And we've been friends for years, you know. I won't tell you how many, but anyway. And it was my choice to help him, to guide him. Not my choice, it was my choice. If it was my choice, I'd let him play soccer, because I come from a soccer background. But I didn't even know. I hardly can swim myself. So I had to teach him to swim, rather, to guide him to go to the swimming way, which I proved to be right, you know.
Was it as easy as that, or did it take some coaxing to say, Dad, actually, I want to be swimming and not be playing football?
No, for sure. You know, I mean, I loved football when I was younger. That was my first love, as my dad says. And, you know, I think when you get to that age and you kind of, you know, like my dad helped me to realize that, you know, swimming is where my future is going to be. And you know, I always loved competing. For me, it was always about the big races, you know, on the big stage, just the Olympics, you know, always those big competitions which I loved. And, you know, the training, you know, not always is going to be fun. And that's something that I think all athletes or football players, you know, no one really wants to wake up sometimes at 5 in the morning to go and train. But at the end of the day, you do what you need to do to get what you want. So, yeah.
The training is not always fun. It's quite difficult more often than not, but you like to make it fun. There's a little anecdote that you tell in here that you actually drew on trunks, swimming trunks. You don't say what happened, though, after you jumped into the pool.
I'm not going to elaborate too much on that. You know, there's a few stories, you know, that we've done over the years. I mean, I've had my teammates now for, you know, I've been with Graham now for 14 years, my coach, and, you know, all my teammates. So we all really close. We're like one big family, and you know, every now and again we're going to play a few jokes on each other.
In this book, a lot of what we hear is how Chad just hasn't changed at all since rising to superstardom. You know, and I think your whole family has really been put into the spotlight, as well as your wife's fight with breast cancer. Yeah. I mean, would you say that's right? Chad is just the same Chad. He works just as hard and just manages to fit in all these media appointments?
The unbelievable part of it all, sorry to use the pun, but he's become less arrogant. I've taken his arrogance. I think I'm a big shot, you know. I think I'm Brad Pitt. You know, it's good. And then until I look in the mirror, you know. But anyway, no, he's less arrogant, I promise you. It's just unbelievable. I mean, when I've seen other lesser athletes, and I've just, you know, in the same hotel room at an awards evening, and I'd greet them, hi guys, where are you from? You must see how they look at you up and down, some of them, you know. They think there's something. God gave you the gift, and you become the top soccer player, or the top swimmer, or the top rugby player, but there's no need to be arrogant. You know, you're just a player. It's like you're a presenter, or that lady is a sweeper. It's the same thing. She's just earning a living. That's what you're doing. Yeah. You're no different to me. you know, or the mechanic for that matter, you know.
I'm very different from you because I haven't gotten a BBC Sports Personality of the Year nomination. Tell us what Morgan Freeman said to you at the Laureus Sports Awards in 2013, Chad.
Oh, well, that was quite special. We were sitting there, me and my dad, in the back there. We weren't, you know, in the front, and we just were there to watch. You know, we weren't nominated for anything. We were just so honoured to be there. And Morgan Freeman said, Chad le Clos, you know, in that voice. And then I put my hand up because I didn't know what to do, you know. I think he's like, no, sit down, son. Your dad's going to be signing interviews, not you at the end. You got to go to school in the morning. So I was like, well, okay. That was quite special, yeah.
And, I mean, how do you feel about that? So, like that your dad, like a lot of people say that, you know, your dad enjoys as much fame as you with, you know, half the workload.
No, my dad's fantastic, you know. Me and my dad, like I say, we've been best friends since I was a kid, you know. So, you know, for me and my dad to travel the world together and to get to experience some amazing things. I mean, the Laureus, you know, Sports Awards was probably one of the greatest, you know, Dad, it was one of the greatest events of our lives, you know. We got to meet so many iconic figures, and I think, you know, my dad and I hopefully will be one of them one day, so yeah.
What's happening there, Bert?
Makeup.
Makeup in the
onions.
eye.
We put the onions sometimes, the DP.
No. It's something with my eye, man. But there's nobody talks like it all the time to do that.
Is it because of how humble he is?
He does it on purpose. He does it to turn the taps off.
Hey,
I think it's a DPT. You put that in his eye quickly just to...
We're
not loud, Dad. We can cut it. We're not loud, Dad. Don't worry. We cut it. Don't worry. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. No, I don't see any glossing over of eyes there.
You shouldn't do that.
You're looking cool. But now I may turn on the taps because I want to take us back to London, you know, because... Of course, it took a lot of hard work, and as Chad says, it is a team effort. Just how much went into winning that Olympic gold?
The sacrifices he made, you know, he's unbelievable, you know. I mean, people, they say, oh, you took what fame I got? I fame to be the fattest man in Africa, you know. You know, it's him. He's the beautiful boy, you know, look at him. You know, so, but, I mean, he's the one that sacrificed. Him, his coach, his team, you know, his professional team. You know, we as fathers and mothers, my wife, myself,
and it wasn't
siblings.
a lucky touch, because a lot of people say
what
that...
lucky touch? What lucky touch? There's no lucky touch with that. That was positioned at its best.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was hard work. It was 10, 12 years of hard work and planning. And there's headlines of the Sunday Tribune where he says, when he was a 12-year-old kid, I'm going to get to 2012. I'm going to go swim at the Olympics and get a gold medal. Yeah. You know, I know that was just a dream. And at that time, but it is a dream in which just a normal little family with a normal little house has achieved. You know, you don't need the big money and this. Money can't buy what he's got. Money can't buy what I've got. I'm the richest man in the world to have what I've got.
To have the family that you do and
That's
the experiences that you do. All right,
yes.
Okay. Explain to us what you wrote on a computer to yourself in your room prior to that 200-meter butterfly final.
Well, what happened was we woke up from a little nap because we had the heats of the 4x2 relay that morning. So when I got back, it was about 1 o'clock, and I had a little nap before the final, which was about 10 to 8. So I had a little nap from about 1:30, woke up at about 3:30, and I sat in my room after going to my coach's room, and my coach was Skyping his wife, and you know, we were all really relaxed about everything, and it didn't feel like it was an Olympic final day. And I went back to my room and I just wrote to myself, hey Chad, it's kind of weird, hey Chad, I never really used a diary, but I wrote, hey Chad, you know, whatever happens today, you know, your family, your coach are proud of you, and you know, if you win, you know, never change, and if you don't win, just make sure you work harder in 2016. That was the message that I wrote to myself, and I haven't taken it off. It's still on my computer. It's in that little, you know, on the Mac, it's got that little note, that notebook in the corner, and I still have it there, and I think it's still crazy because I still sometimes can't believe it. You know, you go back to those moments and you look at them and you think about what you were thinking about before that time, and it's for me it's crazy because, you know, who would have thought that, like I say, you know, 8 years ago or 10 years ago, you know, Michael Phelps was breaking world records, and I was a little kid who just looked up to him, and I beat him, you know, so it's quite a crazy story.
And when you say you beat him, you also say that you believed in those final couple of meters that you were him because you'd watched and you'd seen exactly what he does all the time.
No, 100%. You know, Michael, he was known for finishing, or he is known for finishing very strong, and, you know, coming off the last underwater, you know, going to 15 meters, which is the limit you're allowed to go. So, you know, whenever Michael Phelps comes into the last 50 ahead of anybody else, you just know to give up and stop racing because you're racing for second. But I knew when I touched behind him, I knew that was the plan all along. I wanted to try and beat him in his own game because, you know, sometimes in training I would think that I was him because he was such an iconic figure to me, what he still is, you know. And, you know, when I came through the last 25 meters and I could see that I was catching him, I almost felt like, you know, 4 years before where he was catching the Serbian Kavic to win his 8th gold medal. You know, in a way it was, you know, almost destiny, you know, like we just switched the roles.
And now he's back. He's making his debut this evening in America. He's come out of retirement. Did you lure him out of retirement? I think
Maybe.
Chad may have lured Michael Phelps out of retirement.
One of his reasons he stated in the press was Chad le Clos. Obviously, it's other reasons, but one of it's 4 or 5 reasons, and it stated Chad le Clos was one of them.
But now, Chad, you can't believe in those final couple of meters you're Michael Phelps. You've got to believe you're the better Chad.
No, of course. Now, what's going to be quite interesting now is that, you know, in Rio, you know, if he decides to race, I guess it's going to be Chad le Clos versus Michael Phelps, not the other way around. You know, I'm going to be the hunted, so to speak. But, you know, I'm really excited. I really welcome his challenge back. You know, I always believed, I said before the Olympics, I'd rather, you know, lose to the best than beat somebody who isn't necessarily the best, if that makes sense. You know, so I want to race Michael again and, you know, definitely, hopefully beat him again. So it'll be good.
You are 22 years old, Chad. Most people don't have enough content to be putting together some sort of autobiography.
Well, you know, just to firstly clarify, it's actually not an autobiography. It's a positive book, inspirational book for, you know, all ages. You know, I think during the week of the Olympics, you know, when Cameron and I won, you know, I remember the headlines every day were unbelievable. You know, Golden Boys, Cameron breaks world record, Chad wins gold. There was no negative, you know, impact in the press. There was no, you know, murderer kills 10 or, you know. So hopefully this book can continue that positive, you know, energy in South Africa, and that's my goal, just to give back to everybody and just to thank everybody for the support that I've had, because truly I have the best supporters in the world here. You know, it's the greatest.
Yeah, and Bert, you've got a whole chapter dedicated to you at the end when Chad speaks about the impact that you have had on not only his life as his dad, but also on his swimming career and the way that he looks at challenges and approaches training. How proud are you when you read through that?
You'll stop with the tears on again, please. You know, it's very difficult for me because even when I read it, I couldn't read it. I couldn't read it. It was unbelievable. You know, I keep saying it, and please take that thing off me. It's, you know, it's look, you know, it's a journey that, you know, it's like I said in the book. It's like I've gone to heaven. If this is what heaven's about, I want to go there. You know, because it was that day from, you know, it was like heaven. It was the best day anybody could ever have in their life. You know, it was unbelievable.
All right, and you're still a Man United fan?
Yeah.
Still, of course.
So, Chad, what are you aiming for then in Rio? Because, of course, that's the next big one, and you took 8 individual. You wanted to win 8 individual golds at the Nationals, just a little bit short, just a silver short. Is that an indication that you want to be going to break some other records that Michael Phelps has set?
Well, you know, I'm trying my best to do as many events as I can. You know, the goal that Graham and I sit down at the beginning of each year, and we plan our year for the head. And, you know, this year's a Commonwealth year, so there's a little bit of experimenting going on. You know, I tried to win 8 titles this year at Nationals. I came a little bit short. But for me, it was more about qualifying for the 8 races, so I can swim, so I can decide what events to swim at the Commonwealth. And basically, you know, whatever events I'm going to try and hopefully win at the Commonwealth Games, I'm going to try and compete in Rio in 2 years' time. So, you know, it's going to be really hard because, you know, a bigger workload, obviously, it's going to, you know, limit every other race. So I'm going to have to try and obviously be a lot more fitter than I have been in previous years, and, you know, just stronger mentally and just all around, you know, better if I want to achieve those goals. So, you know, there's a few things I want to achieve, but I'm not going to quite tell you guys yet.
Not quite yet. Don't let the cat out of the bag. Chad, Bert, it's been great to speak to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I really did enjoy listening, or rather reading about your story. That's Chad le Clos, Unbelievable, a book about family, values and perseverance. Do stay with Morning Live. We'll be back after the break.